Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video you can see how I made a tiny Titanic vessel inside an egg shell. I started making the Titanic from a small piece of wood. I carefully sanded and carved the wood to give it the shape of the Titanic ship. Once the basic shape of the ship was done, I created the various decks and some details with small pieces of balsa wood. I used my magnifying glasses to paint the hull, but then when I had to paint some of the ship's portholes, my magnifying glasses were not strong enough. So I took out from my tools arsenal my microscope camera. I used this camera to create the ship's portholes and some very tiny details. With a small piece of polymer clay I created the iceberg. And then prepared the eggshell for the resin pouring. Then, with the assistance of a couple of toothpicks, I placed the ship and the iceberg inside the sea. But wait, shouldn't the iceberg be on the other side of the ship? Thankfully I realized this early, so I changed the place of the iceberg before the resin hardened. You know, sometimes you can get distracted and do silly things. But that's okay, I mean, as long as you can correct it and nobody notices. When the resin cured, I created the sea surface with an acrylic water texture gel and created the ship's funnels with small pieces of brass wire. Then continued to paint some details on the sea surface with white acrylic color. Making a 4 cm Titanic from wood wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was that I had to make lifeboats for a 4 cm Titanic. And you can see how I made these very tiny lifeboats on my Patreon page. Then I made the ship's masts from wire and created the smoke coming out from the funnels with UV resin. Once I finished the ship's rigging from thin wire, everything was ready for the final resin pouring. It took 48 hours for the resin to fully cure, and then it was ready to start giving it an egg shape in my lathe. When I was happy with the shape, then I wet sanded and polished the egg. I purchased this wooden egg cup from a local store, which I decided to use to support my egg. So I painted it with a nice brown wood color, and since I had these decorative brass corners, I decided to use the brass corners on the egg cup to give it a more, let's say, retro look. The final stage was to glue the egg on the base with some epoxy glue, and the project was finished. So this is the final result, and thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I also enjoyed making this a lot. I'm also going to be giving this away, so if you want a chance to have this, all you have to do is like this video, be subscribed to my channel, and leave a comment below. Also, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to my new patrons, French Tracker and Alex Wilson, who helped me to continue creating these videos. You guys are greatly appreciated, and I look forward to get in touch with you and answer any of your questions. If any of the rest of you are interested in joining my Patreon and watch additional content behind the scenes and other stuff, I'll put a link to the Patreon below. Otherwise, have a great weekend everyone, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers!